So, you're interested in joining a Black Greek letter organization at the graduate level. If you don't know my affiliation, I am a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I am a newly initiated member. I joined in the fall of 2018, so I'm not even a year old yet. But after posting my initiation video or coming out video, whatever you want to call it, I received a lot of comments asking for me to explain or describe what it is like joining at the graduate level. So, just to give background, people tend to think that joining a Black Greek letter organization only happens at undergrad, or rather think you get the most benefit out of undergrad, and I beg to differ now that I have the experience on the other side. So to join, you do have to have a degree, a conferred degree from an accredited institution, which basically means that you graduated from a four-year institution, a four-year college or university. Most of the time at the graduate level, they are looking for individuals who are showcasing talents in their community and in their career, because it's under the assumption that now that you've graduated, you are pushing forward in whatever pursuits that you're doing, right? So in my experience, it was a long time between undergrad and me actually becoming a member. I was pursuing my particular chapter of interest for nearly 4 years before they had a line. That doesn't mean that I couldn't have become a member sooner. It just means that I took the time to cultivate the relationship with a particular chapter in order to become a member in that specific chapter. I liked that chapter and didn't want to become a member in any other chapter, because your chapter affiliation is just as important as being a part of the organization as a whole. Because if you come into it not really liking your chapter, you're not going to enjoy your experience, and I just knew that that chapter was the chapter for me. So one way that I expressed interest in joining was by bare minimally attending the events, going to the events, making your face known, speaking to the women, creating a strong relationship with at least one or two of the women in the chapter is very important. By simply coming to the events, you become a familiar face, you become recognizable, and then just from showing up, more than likely you can assume that you're interested in membership. And that's not always the case, but consistently go to the events. For 4 years, I was going to events, and I was doing my part in helping. I was, talking to the women, talking to in whatever activity, showcasing that I can not only connect with these women, but also the community that they serve. That's very important. I think if you're interested in pursuing graduate membership, just make sure that you are sure of why you're doing it. Because at this point, you no longer have to worry about the parties, even though the parties are there. You no longer have the major social aspects of it. It's really about the work that you would do for the community it serves and the organization itself. So if your interest is simply just because as a child I always wanted to be an AKA, or I always wanted to be a Delta, Sigma, Gamma, Rho, Zeta, that's not going to hold enough weight to push you forward in that journey. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's process is different. Everybody's goal to their organization is going to be different. So you really have to create a very sound foundation in why you want to pursue. And so that's what I had to do. And it took, over that course of time, it became more apparent and more clear for me. It wasn't like, at that point, I went through the ups and downs of whether it was even worth it. Should I still do it? Should I still pursue? But the type of personality I have and the determination that I have, it was a goal of mine that I wanted to see myself accomplish for my X, Y, and Z reasons. And so I had to see it through. That's kind of how I put it in my own brain. So graduate membership is wonderful, honestly, because for me, it allowed me the space to become more of an adult and know what I wanted out of life and what I wanted for myself. And so it takes the facade out of trying to impress people. You know, in undergrad, you're still a teen and you're still trying to find yourself. To commit to something lifelong as a Black Greek letter organization is, as a teen, I don't think I would have been in the mental capacity to still be active. Now that I'm an adult and I know what I want and who I want to be and how Alpha Kappa Alpha is going to help me to better myself and how I can better serve the organization, I know that I now can be a lifelong member without hesitation. I don't plan to skip a year of service. I want to be that silver soror. I want to be that golden soror. I want to be that diamond soror. Those are my long-term goals. I want that 75 years of consecutive membership because I want to be financial and give my, my dues to the organization just as much as they're going to give back to me. So now that I am no longer living on campus, trying to party, trying to find dudes. Not to say I'm not doing that now, but now that I'm just slightly beyond that, I know that I'm better able to serve. At the end of the day, every Black Greek letter organization is to serve the community and to give back. That is the foundation of most of them, is to be of some type of service. The foundation of many of these sororities is sisterhood. So if you don't feel like you can put your pettiness aside, sorority life may not be for you, okay? So you really begin to, you have to put your pettiness aside. I mean, that's just, I think my biggest advice is in pursuing graduate membership is narrow down your chapter. Not to say you have to even join the chapter, because I know that there are some stipulations depending on the sorority that allow you to join as a general member, which is typically at BGLO for Alpha Kappa Alpha. But narrow down, my suggestions, narrow down your chapter. Once you have located your chapter, and all this information is available to you online, you can go to whichever sorority you're interested in and you can do the chapter locator, narrow down the chapter in your area. So for me, I typed in Los Angeles because that's where I'm from. There are a plethora of Los Angeles chapters of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and each of them typically has a website, and if not, you could probably Google a Facebook page and you can just kind of see the work that each chapter is doing and whether or not that chapter aligns with you, right? After you narrow it all down, you attend the events, the public events. All events are not open to the public, which is fair, but go to the public events. If it's a beautification, if it's a luncheon, if it's a dinner, if it's a fundraiser, if it's something, attend. Make your face known. Introduce yourself to members of the organization. You don't have to blare or jump up and down that I'm interested, because your presence will be that. But you can also, once you get comfortable with particular members in that chapter, you can express your interest to them directly, and they could potentially be your help into the organization, right? So you just want to, at the end of the day, it is about sisterhood, and so showcase that you want to cultivate relationships. Find a commonality between yourself and an interest that you see in a woman. So if she is a business owner and you are a business owner, create that connection, because that is also a networking opportunity for yourself. So say I own CandiceWithAK.com, and there's another soror or member, don't call him a soror, but another member in the organization that you see has beauty products, and I could say, oh, I'm also a business owner. I maintain this website where I sell goods, blah, 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 blah. I would love to connect with you. Maybe we can discuss things. Here's my number. Here's my card. Can we exchange numbers? And then you begin to forge those relationships that will then help you in the long run. Ultimately, it is about sisterhood and service, and so you want to display those characteristics. Find your true purpose in pursuing membership. If your purpose is big, if it's small, as long as it is true to you and what you want out of life and how you could be of service to the organization as well as the organization serving you, then you should be good to go. So in these initial stages of your interest in graduate membership, it's very cliche to say, but do your research. That is the biggest thing. All of the stuff is online. You're available to Google everything. So utilize it. That's what the internet is for. Do your research. I couldn't imagine somebody telling me in 1945 to do your research and I didn't have the internet. Do your research. If you have any questions or comments, you are more than willing to reach out to me. Feel free, or be more than willing to reach out to me here. You can reach me on Instagram. I am more than willing to help people in their journeys because it was people that helped me. So, give each one to each one. You have to look back to give back. And so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. And I wish you all the best of luck on your journey.